Tangtang is the best support for cryo teams in Arknights Endfield. Here's what you need to know. Starting off with her kits, her battle skill is able to create water sprouts that revolve around the active character. These water sprouts will be crucial to the functioning of her kits because they inflict a cryo infliction, which will allow her to activate her combo skill that requires a cryo infliction to be inflicted or an arts burst to occur, which are both things that her battle skill or other cryo allies can easily do. Her battle skill is also able to create more water sprouts by converting her combo skills as whirlpools, which are small little ponds of water that don't really do anything until they're converted into water sprouts that'll be able to apply an art susceptibility debuff onto the enemy, which will allow her to be an incredibly powerful support for cryo teams, since art susceptibility debuffs are highly coveted in every team. Now, even though you can create multiple water sprouts with their battle skill, you'll still only be able to inflict one cryo infliction per battle skill, so her battle skill won't have a way to do a burst of arts burst damage or to instantly max out an enemy's cryo inflictions so that someone like Arknights can instantly nuke the enemy with their combo skill. Do you want to buy more Ori geometry to play Arknights Endfield with the best characters, but you don't want to spend too much money? Well, then you're just in luck, because here's what I've been using lately. Lubar.gg, the most affordable and safest in-game purchase discount platform on the market. Lubar.gg offers up to 26% off in-game purchases. Their in-game purchases are 16% cheaper than the official and 10% cheaper when using their new users coupon. To save on your top-ups, go to lubar.gg, then choose a bundle, then log into your account in a single-used cloud device. Redeem the pack that you purchased in-game, just like the official top-up, then log out, and your data will be cleared automatically. Now, lubar.gg is trusted by other content creators like Storn and Seal, and that has a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot alongside a bunch of 5-star reviews. So if you want to save up to 26% off when topping up, go to lubar.gg by clicking the link in the pinned comments or description. Now, for her ultimate is incredibly powerful for both defense and offense because it allows her to freeze enemies in a large AoE for a short period of time and then do a ton of damage when the ultimate ends. You can also just do a dive attack to end the ultimate early, which will allow you to do the same big hit of damage that you would do if you let the ultimate end normally. But if you do a dive attack, it'll also activate the same effects of her battle skill again. You'll be able to spawn another water sprout, and you'll be able to convert any whirlpools from her combo skill into water sprouts, so that you can inflict more cryo inflictions and apply more arts susceptibility debuffs. For her skill priorities, prioritize leveling up her battle skill, then her ultimate, then her combo skill. Since the majority of her damage comes from her battle skill, her ultimate does a good amount of damage and her combo skill has a good amount of utility. For her gears, she's gonna want the upgraded Bone Crucia set because it provides a 15% attack bonus and a 60% battle skill damage bonus after doing 2 combo skills, which will increase her sub DPS drastically. For her individual pieces, she's gonna want the Bone Crucia Heavy Armor T2 and the Bone Crucia Wristband T1 because they provide a ton of cryo damage. She's also gonna want 2 Bone Crucia Mask T2 because they provide a bunch of battle skill damage, which is going to be really good for her because the majority of her damage comes from her battle skill. But she can also use the old Bone Crucia set pieces, with the Bone Crucia Poncho because it provides an ultimate gain efficiency bonus, the MI Security Gloves, and 2 of the Bone Crucia figurines, because they provide a massive battle skill damage bonus in total, which is going to be really good for her because the majority of her damage comes from her battle skill. For her weapons, she's obviously gonna want her signature, but she can also use the Home Longing because it provides agility, cryo damage bonus, and attack. She can also use the Long Road because it provides strength, an arts damage bonus, and an attack bonus. She can also use the Opus the Living because it provides agility, which is her main attribute, arts damage, and some crit rates. She can also use the Cannibal because it provides her main attribute, and a massive arts damage bonus. She can also use the Artsy Tyrannical because it provides a massive cryo damage bonus and a ton of crit rate. She can also use the Wedge because it provides a main attribute boost and a ton of arts damage. And she can also use the OBJ Velocious because it provides a ton of ultimate gain efficiency. For her teams, she'll obviously be really good in cryo teams. But how good? Well, if we take a look at what she offers Yvonne, we can see that she can only act as a really good flex slot, since she only provides cryo inflictions, art susceptibility debuffs, and a ton of sub DPS, while Saihi is still the uncontended best cryo supports due to her being able to do multiple things like healing, buffing, and inflicting cryo, and Tangtang can't shatter the enemy like Gilberta or Estella, so she can't fill their slot either. The only slot she can fill is the flex slot, which is where pretty much every other cryo support lies. Thus, Tangtang has a ton of competition, so you should only spend your precious pulls on her if she surpasses the competition by a good amount, which in my opinion, she does. You see, she's able to inflict one cryo infliction in a large AoE, which is something very few cryo supports can say they do, since typically they can only inflict a cryo infliction onto one enemy, and she's able to apply an art susceptibility debuff, which is an incredibly powerful amplifying effect that offers a lot more value than what most cryo supports can offer. Not only that, but she does a ton of damage with both her battle skill and her ultimate. Now, if we compare her to Perlica, who is arguably the best flex slot for cryo teams, we can see that Perlica can also apply a debuff onto the enemy, aka she can forcibly apply electrification that can increase damage dealt to the enemy, but her electrification isn't AoE, and she can't apply cryo inflictions at all, which are two major downsides to using Perlica over Tangtang. And if we continue comparing Tangtang to other Yvonne flex slots, we can see that Alish can really only provide skill points, Fluorite can really only inflict cryo or nature inflictions, which will be good for initiating rotations and stacking buffs, but other characters like Gilberta can also initiate rotations, and stacking inflictions is good for providing Yvonne with more energy per battle skill, but it just doesn't outvalue what Tangtang offers. And Snowshine can sustain, apply cryo infliction only after countering, and she can apply solidification, which is a mix of mediocre to really good benefits for an Yvonne team, but in my opinion, it just isn't enough to put her over Tangtang. Now for a last right team, it'll be pretty much the same case. Saihi will remain irreplaceable, especially for last rights, because of their synergistic kits, and Artelias's art susceptibility debuff and healing will also be crucial for a last right team, or pretty much any team for that matter. Thus, the only other slot Tangtang can fill is again the flex slot, which has even less competition as before. This time she has to compete with Perlica and Fluorite again, who will still be an inferior choice to her, and she'll also have to compete with Takekuri, who can provide a ton of skill points, but that's really it. For her potentials, her P1 reduces her combo skill cooldown by 2 seconds, and it increases its multiplier by 1.2, which should increase her damage by a decent amount. It also returns 5 skill points for every whirlpool converted into a water sprout by her battle skill, which won't result in a noticeable DPS increase. For her P3, it increases her battle skill multiplier by 1.1, and it increases her art susceptibility debuff by 5%, which should result in a noticeable DPS increase. For her P4, it reduces her ultimate energy cost by 15%, which will pretty much always result in a large DPS increase. For her P5, it increases her ultimate's multiplier by 1.15, and it increases the damage of the water sprout it creates by 80%, which will result in a major DPS increase. Now should you summon for Tangtang? Well, in short, Tangtang offers a lot of value that most cryo supports can somewhat replace, but not fully replace, like how pretty much every cryo support can inflict cryo inflictions, but not in an AoE. Now, just because she offers a lot of value that other cryo supports don't have, it doesn't mean she's irreplaceable or a must-have, so I would only recommend summoning for Tangtang if you want to upgrade your cryo teams, not if you want to keep them from falling off the meta. Anyways, that's it for today. Goodbye.